Hello everyone. Today I am here to talk about my current journal and planning ecosystem. And I say journal and planning together because to me, my journal and my planner work together very much so to keep my life on track, and I consider them integral, having them together. Obviously, the first part of that is going to be my personal journal. So here is my daily journal. As you can see right now, I'm just using a spiral notebook. This notebook was picked up at Barnes & Noble. I forget what it cost. Oh, here it is, $12.99. You can get cheaper notebooks, you can get more expensive notebooks. I have been journaling for almost 30 years now, long time. So I have tried a ton of different notebooks over the years. I use whatever appeals to me at the moment. One thing I like to do, I paste things into my journal. These are from my calendar. Here is the pamphlet from Hershey Dark Nights. Opens up. I like it because there are memories tied to them, and it helps add some fun and color to the pages. Here's a seed packet from some seeds I started. My journal is my one personal journal. I use this for any personal writing and reflections that I do. I use it for my morning pages. I use it for my evening reflections. I use it if I'm answering reflection questions. I use it when I'm doing my think day. Any of that stuff goes in here. There are notes about dreams that I remember having. When I wake up, I'll write them in here. One journal, that works for me. I have tried keeping separate journals for different things over the years, and it was just too much. I did not like having a bunch of different notebooks. For me, one journal is the way to go. I will review my entries and highlight things that I need to do. Like after my think day, I review it, I highlight, then I carry things over to other places. The next part of my system is my planner. This is the Hobonichi Techo. I have the 2025 version here since that is what I'm in the middle of using. I have also already purchased the 2026 one. I do not have that fully set up yet. I've had it like a week and haven't had time to mess with it too much. I like the Hobonichi planner because I used to use a bullet journal as my planner and I loved it. It really helped me, but I hate it how much time I spent setting up my layout every week. And I did not do a complicated layout. I didn't do all these beautiful drawings and pictures that you see a lot of people do online. I just don't have the time for that or the patience. It was just a very basic layout, but it still annoyed me to have to spend time setting it up every week. That's why I love the Hobonichi, because it comes with, most of you probably know what a Hobonichi looks like, but I will show you in the 2026. You have these grid pages for every month. I use this as a habit tracker. Then you have your monthly view, which I use like a normal monthly view on a planner. Your weekly view, which I break down. I will show you that in a minute on my in use, and then a daily view. Now on the weekly view, you can see mine gets really busy. I color code. On the left, I have a affirmation. I have my priorities for the week. I have my tasks that I plan to get done this week. It's not my full task list, just ones I want to get done this week. I have a weekly checklist of things I like to do every week. Then I have a steps log, and I am currently trying to stay gluten-free, so I have a checkbox for if I manage to do that. On each day, I write the weather at the top. I do my daily plan of appointments, recurring things, etc. Then I have down here, these are my weekly cleaning and recurring tasks. And down here, below that is a reflection prompt for each day. I like to sit every day and answer a reflection prompt. That is my weekly spread. My daily spread, I spend a ton of time here. You can see I have allocated that out. At the top, I have my tasks that I carried over from my weekly layout. I have my schedule that I brought over from the weekly layout. I have a log section. This is my log section. Different things I like to note during the day, money I spent, vitamins I took, just random stuff. Maybe a kid had a field trip that day, a dog got sick, whatever, random. Then there is a food section where I am tracking what I eat each day. And the very bottom down here, these are the notes from my daily reading. I have 4 books that I read each morning, and they're my notes from those books. Those are the 2 big parts. The other one is my daily carry notebook. This is notebook 3. My daily carry notebook, it's mostly on my desk, but this is, I have a whole blog post on this. I will have it linked down below. This notebook is where I write down all my notes. Anything you would randomly write down throughout the day on a scrap of paper, whatever, notes from classes that I've taken, brain dumps, pen tests, anything. I don't write things on random pieces of paper. I write them in here so that I don't lose my stuff. And you can see, like, there is no rhyme or reason to this notebook. It's kind of a junk notebook by the time I'm done with it. It is a temporary holding spot, and that works for me. If I'm writing to work something out, you know, I'm thinking through something and writing, anything. Sometimes there's even doodles in here. Like, here is some doodles. I was in the middle of a class and it got a little boring for a while, so I was just doodling. Sometimes there's doodles from one-on-one hold on a phone call. The key to this notebook is processing it, because some of this information is temporary. Like, you just needed to write down, I made a phone call to my kid's doctor because they need an appointment today, they're sick. While I'm on the phone call, I'm writing down, yes, we can come in at 3:00 today. So I write down 3:00 and which doctor I'm seeing so that I have it. Then I'm done with it. I might make a note in my planner later after I saw the doctor, but I don't really need to keep that note. Other notes that I want to keep, notes from classes, when I process the notebook, they get moved in to their permanent home. Maybe there's a note about an appointment. Maybe there's a note about some things I need to do. Anything like that. After I process, I put a check mark up in the corner so I know that page has been processed and I'm done with it. And then the process pages are clipped together. So I could go back and look at it if I need to. I've never had to because I've moved stuff to where it needs to go. Again, I process once a week. It depends on how heavy you use your notebook. I would say a minimum of once a week, but maybe you have a lot of stuff in here and you need to process every other day, twice a week, whatever. This has been a game changer though, having all my notes in one place. I don't lose notes anymore and it is awesome. I love it. Daily notebook. Next piece is going to be my Commonplace book. This is my permanent home for notes, things I want to remember, kind of a second brain type thing. So this has notes from classes I've taken, books I've read, the things I've highlighted in books, quotes that were interesting to me. I just write them all in here. I have seen some people with theirs where they use the little color stickers to denote topics, and I think I need to go back and do that because otherwise it's just a whole bunch of random information. And I want to be able to go back and reference this. I do have, this is my main Commonplace book. It's just a campus notebook. I do have topic specific ones. This one is my journaling related book. It has notes from classes I have taken on journaling, books I've read related to journaling, because journaling is very important to me. I'm always trying to improve it. You can see this has a lot of use. There's a lot of notes in here. So that has its own book. And then I have another one for I have a monthly topic I like to research. I keep that in a separate book, but it's all of that month's notes are together. I don't do a new notebook each month. At the end of the month, I'll put a little tab on there so I know where it changes. That works for me, just because I have a lot of notes on that topic, because that is the topic I'm studying hard that month. And the final part is in here, and it is a temporary reference notebook. And this is stuff that I need to keep to reference short term. I don't need long term, so I don't need it permanently. I need it a little longer than my daily carry notebook though, and I want to be able to find it pretty easily. That's why I like it in a separate notebook. An example of what I have in here, you can see this was some summer fun ideas. As I found things I thought the kids would like to do this summer, I made notes of them in this notebook, and I would put, where it was, prices, etc. If we did it, I checked it off. If we didn't, I left it. Maybe we'll do it next summer. Maybe we'll never do it. Doesn't matter. I don't really plan to go back to this notebook though. Once it's done, once this notebook is complete, I will file it away with my completed journals, but it's not a long term. The Commonplace book will stay in my office so I can reference it. Other things I have in here is a list of some books that I want to check the library for, etc. Book recommendations I've gotten from people. Notes from my last Think Day. I have a whole blog post on Think Days. They help me. Notes on some changes to my routines that I want to make. That way I can look back at my notes. Like, what did I say I wanted to do again? As I'm in the process of changing. That is all that is currently in this one. So that is in this notebook. Those are the, 5 notebooks that are my personal planning and journaling ecosystem. And I love them. They work great for me. I'm curious, what works for other people? I find it interesting how different so many people's systems are, because everybody's brain works a little different and you have to do what works for you. And I realize, what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. But I also feel like we can learn from each other. We can get ideas from each other. Some of my ideas have come from other people of things I use. So drop a comment. Let me know what works for you. What do you like in your ecosystem? Are there any parts from my system that you think you would like to try, or that maybe you use? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.